How many of you woke up this morning, looked in the mirror and thought, you know what? I'm a roaring bonfire of pure passion. Probably not many. Most of us wake up, look in the mirror and think, wow, who creaked? Was that my knees or the floorboards? There's a massive misconception that losing our fire for life is a personal failure. We assume we just ran out of willpower. But let's look at the actual physics of a fire. A fire needs three things to burn: oxygen, fuel, and heat. In our youth, we have plenty of all three. But somewhere between our 40s and our 60s, life decides to dump a giant bucket of wet blankets on us. We get hit with mortgages, corporate burnout, joint pain, and the ultimate passion killer: routine. We stop living and we start managing. We become the project managers of our own slow decline. But I'm here to tell you that your fire is not gone. It's just buried under the ash of obligations. Today, we're going to use science, psychology, and a little bit of pattern interrupting humor to kickstart your inner internal combustion engine. Welcome to the Due to Expire podcast. I'm your host, Corey Kennard. Now, let's grow. Before we dive into today's topic, I want to let you know that this episode is presented by the No Negative Energy Life brand, a life coaching resource and media edutainment outlet that seeks to help human beings to consciously expose and diminish the impact of negative thoughts and ultimately replace them with positive ways of thinking that will increase one's ability to thrive. Check us out at nonegative.energy. That's no negative, all one phrase, .energy. So why do we lose our fire? There's something called the science of the smolder. Let's look at the human brain. We are hardwired for survival, not necessarily for thriving. There's what is known as the dopamine trap when it comes to this. When we are young, everything is a first. First car, first love, first career win. Novelty triggers a massive flood of dopamine, the chemical of anticipation and drive. But as we age, we enter what psychologists call the habituation zone. You've seen the movie, you've done the job, you've argued the argument, and when novelty drops, dopamine drops. Without dopamine, the fire doesn't have spark. And then there's the neurological cost of playing it safe. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to grow and change, doesn't stop when we age, but it does stall if we stop challenging it. When we fall into a strict routine, that same mundane routine that you carry out every single day with nothing new integrated into your life, our brain enters a low power mode to conserve energy. The truth is, you aren't tired because you're doing too much. You're tired because you're doing too little of what actually lights you up. So we have to learn how to fuel this fire that we want to have in our lives, the fire of that passion of getting out there and getting it done. Well, there are three vital elements that fuel any fire. To never lose your fire, you have to radically shift how you manage your daily energy. So let's break down the three elements that fuel fire. Element number one is oxygen. Now, oxygen, as it relates to our human lives and the way that we think, is the power of high vibrational health. You cannot have a fiery mindset in a stagnant physical vessel. This isn't about looking like a fitness model. It's about cellular urgency. Studies on cellular aging and mitochondrial health show that chronic stress and poor movement literally suffocate your cells. Your mitochondria are the power plants of your body. They convert nutrients into chemical energy called ATP. If they don't produce ATP, or the energy that you need to move and to get going, you feel emotionally flatlined. Think of your health as totally vibrational. Movement, deep breathing, and hydration are pattern interrupts for your biology. If you are staring at a screen for 8 hours, you are putting your fire into a vacuum. You need to give it some air so it can breathe and burn like it's supposed to. Element number two, fuel. You need fuel for your fire. Well, what is the human fuel that we need? It's not food. It's the ownership of time. Who is consuming your fuel? If your daily calendar is filled entirely with other people's emergencies, other folks' demands and expectations, you are letting others siphon your gas tank. You know, we spend the first half of our lives saying yes to things we hate just to be liked. By the time we hit 50, we should be Olympic level experts at saying no. Learn to say no to people that are siphoning your gas tank. Here's a fact that you need to know. A famous palliative care study on the top 5 regrets of the dying revealed that the number one regret was this: I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself and not the life others expected of me. Think about that for a moment. Is this where you want to be? As you age, as you get older, is this the type of regret that you want to have? You see, radical ownership of your time is the ultimate fuel protector. And the third element is simply this: heat. Heat is the pursuit of friction. Fire requires friction. In human behavior, friction is intentional discomfort. If you only do what is comfortable, your comfort zone shrinks until it becomes your cage. It locks you in. To keep the heat alive, you must consistently introduce positive friction. Learn an instrument. Start a business. Speak on a new stage. Challenge your physical limits. Those are your 3 elements that you need in order to keep that passion burning. Another thing that we must deal with is overcoming the "it's too late" mindset. We all carry a subconscious clock. You know that, right? We look at our age and we think, well, it's too late to start that now. Or I'm past my prime. How many of you have said that? We treat our lives like a gallon of milk with an expiration date stamped on our foreheads. Let's look at the data on longevity and vitality. Exhibit A, Laura Ingalls Wilder. Did you know that she didn't publish her first book until she was 65 years old? Exhibit B, standard psychological evaluations of older adults who maintain high curiosity scores show significantly lower rates of cognitive decline and drastically higher levels of daily life satisfaction. You're never too old, and you need to always stay curious. You see, your expiration date isn't a limitation. It's a catalyst, as we always say on this podcast. When you realize your time is finite, every single day gains immense, heavy value. It means you don't have time to waste on toxic relationships, minor grievances, or playing small. Urgency is the heat that turns a dull smolder into a roaring blaze. As we wrap up today, I want to leave you with a challenge. Fire is not something you sit around and you just wait to feel. Fire is a consequence of action. It's energy in motion. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up and your joints give that familiar creak, I want you to remember that you are still in the game, my friend. The ash of your past experiences, the ash of your failures, and the ash of your disappointments does not define the depth of your flame. It just means you've been burning for a while. And guess what? That makes you dangerous. That makes you experienced. So stop managing your decline and start engineering your explosion. Protect your oxygen by moving your body. Guard your fuel by owning your time. Stoke the heat by chasing what frightens you just a little bit. Keep the energy kinetic. Keep it moving. And keep your vision clear. And never, ever let the world put out your fire. Thank you for listening today. I'm your host, Corey Kennard.